What's up, everyone? Happy New Year to all you folks. Hope you had a good break. I myself had a long break, as you can see from the channel. Couple weeks in Philippines and 1 week in Tokyo means I am full, tired, and jet lagged. But we're gonna kick this year off in RC review with a lot of content, and we have a good one. And I'm not kidding about that. We have a real good one today. We have the ARRMA Kraton Mini 3S BLX right here. It's a small bite-sized package of your ARRMA Kraton. $299 for the model with no battery and charger, and with battery and charger it's $339. So super affordable, and it is cool. It looks like a Kraton, but does it drive like a Kraton? That's the question. So 4 colors on this guy. 50 miles an hour. So that tells you they got something going on. They have 2 driving modes, adrenaline mode and chaos mode. Basically, you have a special key that instead of 30 miles an hour, it can go 50 miles an hour if you put it on. And it is tough. It's toughened up, and it's got something called DSC, Dynamic Stability Control, or a gyro, so to speak. So super cool, because this is a stunt vehicle. As you know, it's not so easy to drive these crazy ballistic vehicles straight on very loose terrain. You know, on asphalt, no problem, right? But as it gets looser, it gets a little wild. So 2 differentials, front and rear. The rear, I feel, is a little heavier. And it's got a lot of programmability. So the gyro is programmable, 4 settings, but there's like 10 other settings. Kind of like a Hobby Wing motor or ESC with so many programmable settings. So let's get into it. Let's open it up and show you what it's all about. Oh, check this out. This is kind of cool because... All right, let's open it up, and they have a new clipless body mounting system. Really cool, because it's right on the bed, and then you lift it up, it unlocks, and then there's a spade on the rear that no way it's gonna slip out. And look at it right there. It's very fancy. There's a little mechanism, and it gives the whole body structure. No way you're gonna break this thing. It's about 3 pounds for this vehicle in total. So here you go. Super cool, right? It's a tub chassis, and it's got these protection, these kind of wheel wells, so you're not gonna get a lot of dirt inside. Boom, look at that bottom. You got a little armor there, aluminum to stiffen it up, and got some fairly soft tires, big tires, soft tires, so you can go through some terrain. Problem with the Grom series is, you know, the tires are not big enough to handle rocks and a lot of crazy bumps. Aluminum shocks. You can already tell this thing's gonna handle some beating. And something really cool is the battery capture mechanism is on a swivel, and it's spring-loaded. So you just press it on and you're locked in. So this is the battery that it comes with. So 2000 milliamp hour 3S. And so I only have the 1300 for now, but you guys will be getting shipped. That 3S has the little charger. How many watts is this thing? So I can imagine that this will be stressed out or take a long time if you charge 3S 2000 milliamp hour. So that was the same charger I've seen in the Grom series. So there we go. It has this special key right here. See that? That's your power key. You can go from adrenaline mode to ballistic mode, or chaos mode. So let's turn it on. It's got a tiny little switch here on the 2-in-1 ESC and receiver. It's got a fan there. It's got a fan on the motor, but it's not too loud, not obnoxious. So they designed it quite right. And then servo is okay, working hard, and then not bad, huh? Okay, and one thing you'll notice too is it has a gyro. So 4 levels of gyro. It's on level 2 right now, so not too aggressive. And why do you need a gyro? You need a gyro when it's super loose. This is not a long wheelbase vehicle, so to keep it straight, you know, so you're tracking perfectly on that jump, get that gyro set up, and you can adjust it. I would adjust it to a little more because I was having trouble keeping this thing straight when it got loosey-goosey, super rough. So this is the power key right here. It's got a tab to pull it. And then when you turn it on, it automatically knows this guy wants chaos mode. This guy wants business. All right, here we go. So there you go. We got some madness going on there. So it 50 miles an hour, they claim, or 30 miles an hour. And then we're gonna put it on some speed tests. And you also have your 75% throttle here. So 75% is a little more than the adrenaline mode, because that makes it a 2S, so it's like 66%. So you have a lot of options, a lot of runtime. You can have up to about 20 minutes of runtime, or about a little less than 10. So let me do some road testing for you guys and come back to me, and I'll tell you pros and cons, and is this vehicle really worth all this new hype and new engineering. Okay, so it's locked in, and we'll do a speed run. Wow, it is fast with a 2200. So we'll do a speed run. Full throttle. So the top speed is 31.4 miles an hour. Stick it in there. It's got a little cord so you can pull it later, and then turn it back on, and you could actually test if the plug did anything by it's an ARRMA, and the top speed is 46.3 miles an hour. All right, let's get to some fun stuff, starting with a softball field. Super loose right here, but it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. This car can roost and go pretty straight. But if you are full throttle a lot, it will just tend to spin out. So you gotta watch the throttle. Make some nice swoopy turns. The gyro is on, but it is on level 2 of 4. It does flip over from time to time, and it's gonna land on its roof. It doesn't correct itself. And here we do some jumps. So these are little jumps by ARRMA. Yeah, pretty cool. So I land on grass, and this thing will just roll around forever. And boom, this thing can elevate on a little jump. So not bad. You get as much elevation, but you're not damaging the car. If it hits you, it's only a 3-pound thing, no big deal. And here we do a little bit of rough road rallying, seeing if I can do some patterns, some ovals. And not easy, no joke, if you're trying to goose it, And most of my testing was done on the chaos speed, 46 miles an hour. When you are in pavement, this thing will flip over. It will do almost a backflip, and then boom. It does have good dynamics. You can control it in midair if you could see it well enough. Boom, that's a backflip, and it lands it perfectly. Just level. So very good attitude in the air. This thing is a jumping machine. So if you always wanted to learn to jump but didn't want to have a big budget ruin your car, this could be one of the tickets. Boom. It just rolls around and doesn't really hurt itself. Super cool, and it can send it if you had a jump long enough. And the gyro is pretty handy. Whoa, boom, just sends it. Because if you wanna keep it straight for a jump, aim it on loose conditions. Works pretty well. And here I'm doing some ovals again. And yeah, it is controlled. Short wheelbase, so it's not easy, but maybe a little more gyro and it'll be good. Little backflip there. Boom. All right, not bad, huh? Not bad. I was super impressed. That was my first run. This body is super easy. And it to put on, and it maintained, it kept the whole thing clean. Boom, just like that, you are on. Got some protection here. So pros and cons, what is going on? So the main thing going on here is we have a new package. It's totally engineered. Kraton, I was a big fan at 6S, 8S, I didn't like it. It was way too heavy, 20 pounds. 4S was pretty cool. You could play it in more places. And then one thing missing, I have a lot of these Chinese vehicles. When they get small scale, they're not fun anymore. They don't have the same impact. Does this deliver the same impact, the same experience of Kraton? Pretty much, yeah. At 50 miles an hour, 45 miles an hour, it is crazy. All the dynamics, the vehicle dynamics, the jumping, the height, they're pretty much the same. So it's super cool. And it's affordable, $299, right? Instead of $700. So that's cool. The other thing is small is in. Not just because of price. Price is important for sure. Economy is hella tough. But what I'm finding is with the big vehicles, it's hard to transport it. Hard to find a place to play with, and we have a tendency to get kicked out of everywhere we play with our Kratons and X-Maxes. If they just spit out too much dust, rocks, and noise, and all that. This thing, lower impact, but same fun. So pretty darn cool, and the durability is there. Man, I cased this thing so many so many times because it's kind of harder to catch when it's doing its double loops, backflips. It's kind of small, so you gotta be a little faster on it. And I just just crushed it so many times, and it's not broken, and it's hardly scratched. So it's protected where it needs to be. So super cool. A lot more for your investment. On the weaknesses side, I would say it's hard, because you don't have your body clips. The stock setting, it was hard to keep straight on the on loose conditions. With the 45 miles an hour that I was doing, it would just spin out randomly. So I think I would need to up the gyro of this guy a little more. And I'm not gonna fault the tires because they're rubbery. They're not like hard plastic. It's just a short wheelbase vehicle with a whole lot of power. The charger, I think, is going to be undergunned when you have the 2S, 3S, 2000 milliamp hour batteries. You might need 2 of those or 3 of those batteries to keep the fun going without a 3-hour break in the middle. But color me if this is the first vehicle of 2026 and kind of affordable. I'm pretty excited. All right. Thanks a ton, everybody.